What should I do? There we go. Okay. Hey everybody, this is just a quick tutorial, just a 10-minute tutorial, how you can turn a simple cylinder into a completely rendered scene. So let's go get started. I'm assuming you have some Blender experience, but if you don't, just follow along as best you can. All right, first thing we're gonna do is get rid of this cube. You don't want this. Bam, gone. I'm gonna go to add at the top of the screen here, choose mesh, and I'm gonna use a cylinder. Because we're making a mug, usually mugs are cylindrical. So I'm gonna go in edit mode or pressing tab. Press A to select all, G to grab, and then Z to move it up and down. I'm going to get it off the plane here on the floor. And let's start editing this into a mug. So the first thing I'm going to do is um, I like to just put an edge loop here at on the side here. So Command R. Or sorry, Control R if you're on Windows. Sorry. And I'm going to click right about here. Yeah. I'll move it up, place it near the edge. You want to have a little gap between the top edge and the bottom edge right here. You'll see why in a little bit. I'm gonna go and press 3 on my keyboard to go face select mode. Select this top face right here. I'm gonna hit E to extrude. Then, before I do anything else, hit S to scale, and then move my mouse. And that should give me something like this. I'm gonna click, give a little brim here on the mug. I'm gonna hit E to extrude one more time, but I'm gonna pull it down. So hit E, pull it down. If you have a hard time seeing this, you can switch to wireframe or tapping Z on your keyboard and selecting wireframe. So now we can see through our model. I'm gonna press G to grab, Z to pull it down even further. Yeah, something like that. And what I want to do is, I actually want to hit E to extrude again, and S to scale, and bring this down really small. I like to do something like this. The reason for that is when I right click and I shade smooth in object mode, and I apply, let's say I go here to my modifiers and I apply a modifier, you can see all these artifacts because this is a huge n-gon in the middle. So that's why I scale it down. So let me show you guys one more time. I'm gonna go back to edit mode by pressing tab. And I'm gonna do Command R and put another edge loop. Sorry, Control R. I keep saying Command R. Put one right about here, close together. And if I press tab, let's go ahead and add a modifier. I'm gonna go hit this little blue wrench right here. Add modifier, and we're gonna choose subdivision surface. This will increase the number of polygons without actually increasing the number of polygons. So you see it's trying to smooth everything out, even though our original model is still low poly, or fairly low poly. So I'm gonna turn it off temporarily because I forgot to add one more edge loop right here. So I'm gonna do Command R, then Command R, Control R, click and bring it down to about here. And we got two edge loops next to each other. That's gonna help when we put the subdivision surface modifier back on. So this is why you want to do that, because we need to tell the modifier, hey, look, this range right here, by putting two edges together, what it does is it sharpens that edge. If I press GZ and pull it up, you can see it smoothing in and out. I'm actually going to click on the bottom face right here, hit E to extrude, S to scale, and bring that down as well. So the reason we're getting these artifacts is because this is an n-gon, which is a polygon with more than 4 sides. So it's really important that kind of mitigate it as much as possible, just for visual appearance sake. So I got this going on. I might put another edge loop right here, Command R or Control R. Keep doing Command R. Come on, guys, get it together. Right there. I don't know if you can tell, but I was using a Mac not too long ago, so that's why I keep saying Command R. So we're gonna do Control R. I'm just putting edge loops where I think that it would look nice, and kind of put them close to other edge loops, and that's gonna help clean up our shape. So look how much cleaner this looks. I also right clicked in object mode and choose shade smooth just to make it really smooth. Let's go ahead and build a handle for it real quick. I'm gonna press 1 on my number pad. That's gonna put me in the front view. If I press 2, it will put me at an angle, and 3 will put me in the side view. So I'm gonna press 1 on my number pad. That will be the front view. You can use the side view. It doesn't really matter. Just pick any one. I'm gonna do Command R one more time. Control R. Every time I say Command R, just assume I mean Control R. Like, put right there. We want a little gap between here and here, and then Command R. Control R. Click. There we go. So The reason we want this is so that we can extrude the faces for the handle. So I'm going to go ahead and press 1 on my keyboard again. Press 3 on my keyboard. Sorry, 1 on number pad for the camera. 3 on the number row at the top to go and face select. You can also use these buttons up here on the top here. So point, edge, face select. We'll go ahead and click on this face. Hold shift, click on this guy. Hold shift, click on this guy and this guy. These guys are selected here. So when I extrude, hit E to extrude, it pulls them out like so. Now I'm going to go to the side view. I'm about to press number 3 on my number pad. You can also use this compass on the top right here, this X, Y, and Z. You can click X, Y to lock your camera. So I'm holding shift and the middle mouse button to pan, by the way. Again, I'm assuming you guys have some level of experience, so there's something I'm just going to omit. So I'm going to zoom in right here. And I'm going to go ahead and do Command R again, Control R. I got to stop saying that. Click right here, and I'm going to pull this edge really close. So Control R, click, bring this edge inward towards the mug. And that's going to just help clean up that edge and make it a little tighter, a little sharper. Let's go back to edit mode. Go to the side view. I'm going to press 3 on my keyboard on the top row, like that face, and hit R to rotate it. Bring it down a little bit. If you're having trouble selecting or seeing it, you can just rotate around. You can select them all like this. All right, hit R to rotate. Click. I'm going to do the same down here. You can also press Z on your keyboard and go to wireframe, and you can work in wireframe mode. Because if you make a box select around an object, it'll select whatever's behind it as well. So wireframe mode's good for that. I'm going to go here, rotate that, and kind of extrude out from here, maybe about like so. I do the same thing over here, extrude about like so. And then I'll extrude one more time, rotate it, press G, extrude, rotate, press G. And now I'm going to merge these points together. So you can see, oh, I made a mistake here. Got to select both. There it is. Extrude. I'm going to merge these together, but before I do that, I want to delete these faces because they're touching. I'm just going to hit X and choose faces, delete them. Press 1 on the top row for the number pad for point select. Select both these points next to each other. Hit M to merge at center, and do the same for the other one. We're just going to merge them together. Find every point that correlates. Hold shift to select more than one. M to merge. Choose at center. Okay, there we go. And let's start cleaning this up. I'm going to go ahead and go back to wireframe mode and just kind of move these around to kind of clean up my points a little. Do whatever you need to. It can be any shape you want. I'm just kind of trying to get this looking fairly clean here. Clean enough. That's good. That'll work. Back to solid view, and you can see what we got right here. Now, if it's not smooth enough for what you want, go over here on your right to your subdivision modifier. You can increase the viewport level to like level 2. That's going to look like this. Even cleaner. You can bring it down to level 1, no level, and it gets smoother as you go. All right, so we got our mug. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go into object mode and add a mesh. I'm going to choose a plane, scale that up, and this is going to be our floor for the mug. I'm going to click on the mug, go into edit mode, press A to select all, GZ, pull it down. We want it to be right on the plane there. Okay. See here, next step. I'm going to press Z on my keyboard. Let's go to rendered view just to see what it looks like. Getting there. Let's go ahead and click on the light source here. I'm going to change the power on that to like, I don't know, 8,000. Do Command C to copy, Command V to paste it. Or sorry, Control C to copy, Control V to paste. This is what happens when you use Mac for a long time. You forget how to use Windows. There we go. And they're kind of bright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the radius of the lights to about like 6 or so. And that's going to soften them up and dim them out a little bit. So now our shadows are nice and soft. Last thing before we go, I'm going to click on the floor. Go to the materials tab here. Hit a new material. Call it floor. Change the base color to something a little darker. And I'm going to click on the mug. Add a material to that. Call it mug dot mat. You can name it whatever you want. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to increase the specular just a tiny bit and reduce the roughness a bit. By reducing the roughness, we're making it shinier. And the last but not least, I'm going to go ahead and click on this world properties button right here. I'm going to click on the color, the little dot next to it, and I'm going to choose environment texture. This is going to let us use an image to generate light and materials, reflection and things like that. So this image is actually lighting our scene as well as providing reflection data. So now, if I look at the mug, for example, if I go to materials for the mug and I reduce the roughness all the way down, increase the metallic on it, you can see reflecting the image in the background. That's going to add a little bit of realism. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce the metallic, bring the roughness back up a little bit. And let's go ahead and set the camera. I'm going to do Control Alt 0 on the number pad, and that's going to set our camera to our view. Now all you got to do is go over here to your renderer properties from Eevee, change it to cycles, and render image. Oh, by the way, let me go ahead and cancel this. Hit escape, close this out. Make sure that you have GPU compute enabled over here under cycles. It's really important because it's going to reduce your render times by a lot. Particularly if you have a dedicated GPU like a RTX card or any kind of dedicated graphics card, it's going to improve your render times. So there you go. You got a mug. Still got like a few more minutes remaining, but it's pretty good right now. See nice soft shadows right here. Got the I might reduce the roughness a little bit, but generally how we create an image like this. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. But or actually, no wait, this video might be unlisted, so maybe no comments. But let me know if you guys have any questions. You know how to reach me. See ya.